Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. Welcome to the Video Game Fight School channel. So today I'm going to be talking about something that was actually requested of me. One of the audience members here, Aaron, asked me to share my thoughts on Gotham Knights. I think I've also gotten this same request as well. But, whenever you're starting to get some requests to discuss something that is pertinent on the mind of the community more than once, then I guess you can conclude that it's somewhat pertinent on the mind of, some people at least in the community. And, it's something that's worth talking about because since we got the reveal of Gotham Knights in August of 2020 during the DC Fandom event, we haven't really heard much from there. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about a few of my expectations with Gotham Knights and just, talking about what we expect to see or what I would expect to see. But at the end of the day, what I expect might not be what's delivered, and what I expect, I hope, is actually basically less than what's delivered, if you get what I mean. It's one of those things where I'm hoping that they actually knock this whole thing out of the park. So first of all, from a technical aspect, I would be, I would be doing myself and you guys a service if we talk about the technical aspect of Gotham Knights. So the game's development has been basically hidden from everybody. And, we heard all kinds of rumors of multiple games being canceled by Warner Brothers Games Montreal. I don't know exactly why, but I think I may be able to pinpoint, some reasons that are more common in video game industry that delays games or gets games canceled. There's all the kinds of bureaucracy and all that. So I think Gotham Knights has somewhat freed itself from a lot of that bureaucracy and broken out. So now we have a public acknowledgement of this game being in the works. And then in regard to architecture, the game is being developed, I think, mainly with Unreal Engine. I think Unreal Engine 4 will most likely be my guess. Who knows? It might be Unreal Engine 3. There are games that are, still being developed on Unreal Engine 3, believe it or not. But Unreal Engine 4 is, in my opinion, one of the, industry standards right now, pending when Unreal Engine 5 comes out. And we're seeing other games being created on that platform if it's actually feasible for them. And so Unreal Engine 4 is a powerful game engine. It's a game engine that's been successful enough in delivering a lot of very good games. It's a game engine that has third-party support when it comes to another company that's supporting it. So the team that works on Epic Games is actually, supporting the engine. If you need any help and you're a developer, depending on your size and your resources, you can get them to actually help you. Like literally, you can hire an Unreal Engine, experts to come and train your team on something. So if there's something that the studio may be having issues with, they can basically a phone call away, schedule for somebody to maybe come in there with technical support or some technical knowledge. So that actually gives me a little bit more, I would say, confidence, or let me just say ease of mind, because Cyberpunk 2077 came out on consoles and it wasn't really great. But we know that the Unreal Engine is able to create games that will run well on the last gen, which is the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, and also be able to run on the next gen. The examples that I can give you are all the Arkham games. They did run on basically the PS4 and Xbox One. And then for current gen, you have Godfall, which was created on Unreal Engine 4. That is, well, I don't know if it's 4 exactly, but it was created with the Unreal Engine, but it's currently running on the PlayStation 5 and current gen. So these are the technical and some of the weird aspects that I feel like I have to pretty much put here in front of you guys so that we can say, okay, let's check that off the box when it comes to our expectations. Are we going to get a polished game? I think the answer is mostly yes, based on architecture, experience, and just history using these established tools to make the game. Now, on the second front is, in regard to gameplay, in regard to story and all of that, what do I really expect from this game? Now, in regard to seeing more gameplay, that will be an aspect for marketing to actually, find a way to actually get out there. And, they'll be working in conjunction with the game director or, the person that's at the helm of everything. So that's Patrick Redding. Patrick Redding is basically, the captain of this ship. And depending on how he's, basically navigating through all the marketing and all the bureaucracy that, involves Warner Brothers Games themselves, we're most likely going to be seeing something show up perhaps at some festival or some event that is DC related. Now, I say DC related, I'm not meaning DC is going to put up another huge event, but if there's an event that DC can find a way to market some more of or talk about some more of their own properties, I think this might be where we get to see either the developer come up front and talk about it, or we're going to see some more gameplay. Like there was Comic-Con experience that happened just the other day. I think it was online and it was on Facebook. And, we got to see Patrick Redding pretty much have a small interview session there where he talked a little bit about the game. But I think with gameplay, it will have to be at some kind of an event. It will have to be different from what we're seeing now. And if we don't see anything till then, we're most likely going to have to wait for some kind of E3 setup. I don't think E3 is going to be a thing anymore after everything that's gone on this year. And games are going to have to sell by their merits. And it's possible for games to still sell. You don't need E3 to hype up your game. I think Ghost of Tsushima has proven that you can sell a good game without getting a lot of hype. Yes, it had a bunch of other E3 presentations from the past, but it didn't have a 2020 E3 layout, and it was still able to do successfully well. In fact, one of the better sold games on the PlayStation 4. So I think Warner Brothers Games Montreal is going to have to leverage all those different platforms. IGN, the Game Awards people, and all the people that do a lot of the online stuff, like they did the Summer of Games this year, they might be setting up some other things. PlayStation will also most likely be doing its state of play. Xbox will most likely be doing presentations. Gotham Knights might be able to kind of leverage those platforms to get some gameplay out. But the only thing is these might be summer-based events. Now, this is assuming, though, that the game is coming out in Q3. If the game is coming out early, I think we're looking at perhaps a Mortal Kombat style event where, they basically announced Mortal Kombat 11 in December of 2018, and by April of 2019, the game was out. So who knows? We might be getting the game in like the beginning of Q2. So that April timeframe, which I reference Mortal Kombat because it's a Warner Brothers production as well. And the way Warner Brothers, games happen, some of their games do get demos. Mortal Kombat 11 got a beta where people were able to kind of get their hands in on the closed beta after they pre-ordered. I don't know if they did an open beta. I'm not necessarily certain if they did. But, I don't know if a Batman game will require a beta, but I would not be shocked if they put one out there because, gamers have got to see a sample of what it is that they're trying to get on. And so these are some of the things that I do expect. And then, if you think about all of this, though, you really have to kind of come down to the proposition where you say, if the game is ready, we're going to see it. If the game is not ready, we're not going to get it. And so that's basically where all of this stands. You're going to have to kind of, walk through a lot of the different possibilities. You're going to walk through a lot of different timelines. And with the tease of that date of some event in July, they wrote it there, the Flying Graysons. It said July 16th to 21st. I don't know if that's a tease date, but they released it on Christmas Day. So all of these things put together, I don't know exactly what timeline we're going to be seeing some of these aspects, but I think this is the progression at which they will go. If we're getting a Q2 release, we're going to start seeing some marketing show up in February. To be very frank, if this game is actually much robust and much more fleshed out than we assume or presume, we may see this game come out earlier, because who would have thought, right, that January, beginning of the year, was actually the best time to actually release games or movies? Thinking about how everything has changed so much, I think a lot more companies might be in a position where they start to move a little bit, faster, because the times, they are changing. Things are moving too fast. Things are moving very, very rapidly. So if you have an opportunity, it might be something that you want to leverage. So I don't necessarily see them, holding off if the game is done or completely, ironed out. But if the game is still in development and still needs a lot more work, then that's where it's going to be. But I guess what we can do right now is wait. Most likely the marketing team or maybe the developer might show up on some podcast or some event, and we may be able to get a little bit of an update. I would hope that they would update us, as time goes on. But one thing about video game development is it's not, according to an engineer, that I was listening to on YouTube talking about the issues with Cyberpunk 2077, he mentioned and said the video game development's world is not really that progressive. There's so much that's done that feels really ancient, like, secrets. A lot of secrecy behind video game development. It's kind of scary in a weird way, but who knows? This might be the opportunity where, a game development company starts to open up more. And I don't know if it's going to be Warner Brothers that does it anyways. Perhaps somebody else will do it, influence Warner Brothers, and we may start to see some more information. But what I would advise is we just wait. We just we just kind of be on the lookout. We don't want to jinx this game. We don't want to overhype it. And we don't want to set our expectations too high. Game development is a rough place to be. It's a rough thing to execute. So all the patience in the world is necessary. All the time in the world might also be necessary in order for us to be able to see this product come out in the best possible means. I hope that basically answers the question, Aaron. These are basically my own thoughts and opinions. I wish I knew more, but I'll keep my eye out and be doing some more research, and I'll let you guys know whatever it is that I'm able to come up with. Thank you so much for your time and audience. I appreciate you guys so much. Hopefully, we'll see in another video. Peace.